Hi YouTube, just want to quickly chime in on the Munich massacre, yet another Islamic massacre that's happened in Munich, and what we're actually seeing is a censorship of the truth coming out of Munich, and I don't really know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're trying to protect terrorists, but I'm pretty sure Merkel is worried about obviously the immigration policies that she has. You know, I mean, who wouldn't be? You'd have to be an idiot not to be worried about that, given the fact that we're seeing so much bloodshed all over the world. Again, people being radicalised by Islam and following literally the violent verses of the Quran. And until this is addressed, this is just going to continue. But what the government has done, because they don't want to address it because they're protecting their leftist narrative, is they're just going to lie about it. And they're going to make up excuses, and that's exactly what's happened. A bunch of people have just been killed, a bunch of people's kids have just been killed, and they won't even name the real perpetrators. And now the Australian government has put out a statement, and obviously the Australian government is privy to some information. Malcolm Turnbull, our Prime Minister, has released a statement saying the nature of global terrorism is evolving, and increasingly the threat is from lone attackers who become radicalised with little direct contact or prior affiliation with known terrorist organisations. Though investigations continue, the perpetrators of recent attacks in Orlando, Nice and Germany all appear to have shown signs of mental illness and social dysfunction. And then he goes on to talk about that he's directed the Counter Terrorism Coordinator, Greg Moriarty, to examine the implications of the trend and to strengthen our resolve against terror, etc., etc. So that is a clear indication, that is a very, very clear sign that he's talking about the attacks. Obviously, this was released just after the attack. So he's a Prime Minister of Australia. He's got an anti-terror group. Obviously, he's been advised that this is a terror attack. Okay. Now, this came out of Germany, and it's just disgusting. These guys are protecting terrorists. A German-Iranian teenager who killed 9 people and then himself in Munich had undergone psychiatric treatment and was in all probability a lone gunman who had no Islamist ties, police said on Saturday. So they've used the lone gunman argument and the mental illness gunman argument, exactly like Orlando and spades of other Islamic attacks, the same rhetoric, but this one's not an Islamic attack. The 18-year-old who was born and raised locally opened fire near a busy shopping mall on Friday, and it triggered a lockdown in the Bavarian capital. In the third act of violence, civilians in Western Europe, and the second in southern Germany in 8 days. Now, other attacks, also Islamic. 7 of his victims were themselves teenagers, police said, and Bavarian State Crime Office President Robert Heimberger said the gunman was carrying around 300 bullets in his backpack and a pistol, was found shot in the head with a gun wound, self-inflicted apparently. Now listen to this crap. Following a police search of the attacker's room where a book on teenage shooting sprees was discovered. Now, how many books on teenage shooting sprees do you know of? How many? And is this kid on the internet? Why does he need a book on teenage shooting sprees? Tell me this, how many teenagers do you know even read books anymore? How many teenagers, when they're doing this stuff, are reading books about it? Munich Police Chief Herbert Sondra all but ruled out an Islamic militant link in the attack, in which a further 27 people were wounded, including some hurt when panic spread. Based on the searches, there is no indication whatsoever he has a connection to Islam or Islamic State, or to the issue of refugees, he told the news conference. What a load of hogwash. Absolute load of hogwash. What a manipulation. What a disgrace that they would lie and insult our intelligence like this and blatantly lie. Talking about books that don't exist, you know, using a counter psychology on the masses by using all of the rhetoric that's used in every Islamic attack while claiming it wasn't an Islamic attack. Absolutely horrendous. We're sick and tired of this. We're going to keep voting in right-wing parties until these people get the message. There is not going to be a reform in Islam. It's never going to happen. I mean, what do we do? Honestly, what do we do? The government needs to act. At the very least, there needs to be more stringent screening when people come into countries. I think that's fair. And they need to start arresting people that are showing signs of radicalism. It's all too often we hear he was known to authorities and they're just not arrested. Whatever they need to do, they need to start doing it soon. This is Omega signing out with conflicting reports, one from Germany, one from the Australian government. And just note, the Australian government have acted on the report and you know, our Prime Minister has instructed the Counter Terrorism to act because of this Islamic attack. That's pretty telling. So Omega signing out. Thank you for listening. Hit subscribe if you want to hear more, and hit like. There'll be further updates on situations as they arise in the future. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.